was actually on March 30th, where they lost 0-2 against and once upon a time Furia. That doesn't look like the Furia of today.
Back then with Rossi.
Exactly. And now, yeah, he gets to get reunited at least with Rossi, but Rossi also switches into a role going into the Senti.
Yeah.
You have to also underline for EG though. They keep the same comp, but they are also switching roles. Okeanos is now going to be the tip of the spear, playing this Whaley for the team, and Digizine to support them on the Yoru.
Have swapped it before. Digizine, no stranger to that Yoru, but we have seen Okeanos fragging on it, so can we expect the same from this? Envy taking space already as EG do the same long, and it looks like they are going to put their foot down here just from Art right away and sign off on it.
Double mollies too, so that's no alarm about a middle. This is why you're playing so passively for EG.
Ears
already
ringing.
Superman, yeah, is under heavy trouble.
Still gets it. A little bit of help from the team there as he was very concussed up. They're trying to push through the smoke. Nice job holding the defensive side as Envy continues to push forward, but it's not enough. It's falling flat, and Digizine hits the 3K.
EG was ready for that, despite them being spread all across the map. Again, they were expecting for Envy just to continue to be aggressive in the post plan. They held their lines where you're trying to cross over to find information. You needed some util to at least help out onto Keston to move towards that pit fight. And he runs into a crossfire setup, and there's just too much to deal with here for Envy.
Nice, boys. There we go. Hey, that's a...
It looked red. Looked like they had the cover for each other for all the util that Envy used there. It was very nice.
One thing that's for sure, though, at least for Envy, is once they take the defensive side, it would still be a very difficult game for EG because you're still looking at a roster across the board that has some heavy firepower. Okeanos is already running under trouble. A drive-by from Keze with the Sheriff.
Yeah. Forcing an error there, and they're still going to push in. The rest of the team is trying to pick up the pieces. Almost a little too much, but EG does come out with the 3v3 now. Have to be careful of how this works. Kesnet with the Guardian is able to go back and forth. Gonna keep focused on those guns in sight.
And there's no util right now for EG. They have to move in as a group.
Another. Looking to tempt some shots, draw some eyes, and they leave Bao to run in. The Phantom purchase for the round is gonna clean a few up, get that return on investment, and good patience to slow that one down, recognizing Envy was putting a little bit of chaos in there.
And that's one thing that we're gonna keep underlining in this game. EG, they wanted to brush up on their micro against Loud last week, and they looked excellent in that series. Now we want to see if they're going to be able to continue this against a team like Envy. Again, they've learned from their opening kickoff game against this very team where that aggression from Envy kind of took over for them. And for Envy's a win over EG. But now so far so good. I love how we scaled back towards that map, playing the buddy system on that retake, despite this being an anti-eco and probably doable for Envy's side because it was a very nice 3v3 in the end. That was doable on the side of the attack. But now for the gun round of Envy. It's going to continue to be slow, playing a little bit more of a default on a 2-2-1, trying to prod to see if there's anybody pushing aggressively as you have this bonus for EG.
Nice pressure for Okeanos to follow the drone. They have Calm on that Odin at double doors for a moment to keep the spray down, but he backs down street as Envy doing a little bit of play so they can get themselves into the hallway towards Art. They've gained a bit of space here, but no real movement towards the map side of EG.
We might have to come down to the activation on this B long so far for the side of Envy, because you've made so much noise in the first place. Now you finally push them back. Actually, this is perfect look for EG right now. They could split into a 4-1 setup on the B site where there's a very weak side. They had to TP out.
Oh, Kesnet. Oh, gets torn apart by the Superman Bandit, and Calm does make that Odin sing. Envy getting a little bit of ground in sight, and they are going to use all the time in the world on EG's side to walk this one back in so they can have the right hit from every side it looks like they're going to be able to come from.
They're a little bit separated, though. There's so much good util in Okeanos, but look at him flanking all the way towards that long B side. So really, you're looking at a flash, hopefully a recon that comes back for Calm for that retake, but they're losing the timing.
A quick trade. Okeanos needs to move, but he can't make a footstep yet. He doesn't know if somebody's in range. Now he's kind of activated, and he can start to head down long.
There's that dart.
Spike's about to hit medium tick here. Calm's off is going to play off that utility and easily get the spray down. The last shot from Bao. They have 3 alive still, and EG grabbed their bonus round.
That's surprising as well from EG. Set up in a position where they're just trying to react on EG coming back, and once they realize that EG are fairly slow, they're not trying to group up here. You saw, at least on the on the sidewalk towards the street. Rossi did try to find some information in the pulse plan to try to cut these rotates, but the rest of staying anchored up. Staying in individual positions, though, just gave so many 1vx's in favor of EG to retake.
EG have shown now A is closed and B is closed. It's going to take more than some regular hits to get in, so how can Envy start to really split this defense?
Envy will go for a 5-man hit.
Yeah.
It's a half buy. You're trying to get some value here off this Bucky wall slicer and a slide from Kesnet. Now Digizine has that outlaw.
One clean shot. They know Spike's on the left side of the map. They can at least bring one more over as you see that lean coming in from Com to protect the site and just reassure that they're in the right spot. Oh, this is going to be tough. Seeing stars is Digizine, but he gets out on the gate crash. Kesnet's forced to run through, taking a bit of damage in the same moment, and that damage is finalized by Bao.
Plant is good at least, but they're looking fairly strong for EG for the retake. At least this time around, it looks like they want to try to push towards street.
Little side kill there helps. They got to look, break the crosshair, but Bao is able to get one. It still means Envy is trying to be active on this. EG goes for the dimensional drift to find the rest of the members, and Egster looks like he might get cracked on this one. He goes to hide again, a Stinger, a Bucky. He's got an arsenal back there, but does he have the answer for everyone staring him down? He does not. Digizine grabs another one. And already dimensional drift in this round into some more kills. EG are flowing.
I love the confidence from Digizine just to stay in that. There was, what, a concuss from the Astra on the side of Demon 1. Yet he still stays in and tries for a shot before he TP's out and makes it out safely. If he actually died, though, that's an outlaw left in the post plan, which would have been dangerous there for EG.
Yeah.
But thankfully here, despite the damage being done for NV side on this half buy, you're still flowing with a lot of money for EG, for most of the crew. What a shot from Demon 1, by the way.
Phew, he still has that Sheriff. He's playing smokes. You remember his Brim on Fracture, even his Astra, he's still always hitting those Sheriff shots on the lower buys. And it's going to be a timeout as it's quickly 4 rounds for EG.
And that shot from Demon 1 just brings into the confidence that Demon 1 brings in for this team, right?
Absolutely.
He's mentioned in so many interviews in the past, it's like, hey, I don't mind whatever team I play with, I'll make it work. And whatever agent I need to play, I'll make it work. He makes it work here because he brings into the firepower. But then now it comes down to the preparation of Stunna and his assistant coach on how do you build around now the synergy with that. Yes, you have that firepower, but if you don't have that util that really helps out the team into these moments of chaos, that's where the opponents can really take over these things. Thankfully, though, I think, you know, Demon 1 played in that week 2. Oxy came back, and then now he probably had like a 2-week stint now to be able to scrim with Envy to build things up. And hopefully it'll shine for that side for Envy this time around here. But I mean, it's a big ask right now for this team to move deep. To
figure out what all of that looks like, as well as they might change duelists around, change smokes around, change their sentinel. Who knows? They could really toss things up.
So far, disappointment, though, for not seeing a Chamber.
Oh, my. They release a video that has Chamber's face, his card, it's his name on Demon 1 with Chamber there, and we get Astra. We better get a Chamber in this series. We better get a Chamber. Let's see what they have for round 5 out of this timeout for Envy.
It's been a pain point for Envy so far, but you understand here, you lose a bonus, things start spiraling, but the retakes have been really good for EG. So you have to iron these out on the post plan. And despite that, trying to play it slow, trying to force EG's hand to find the info first. That's a solo push-up from Digizine. And there's 3 players over, maybe not even 4 at the beginning on that B site, yet he still comes out unscathed for EG side. Beautiful start for EG after this timeout from Envy.
And they're ready to play towards A, too. No, they'll have to delay and get a retake here. Superman playing safe in the back, goes for a bit of a smoke, gets a kill through 3. Somehow Poppin takes a pie to the face past his teammates. And now they're holding in the site, Digi, with another one. He's just popping out of the woodwork. You can hardly see him when he's hitting these shots from the side of Envy. And they are lost in this one as Bao gets a little bit of a KJ diff there on the lurk, and it is 5-0. The timeout will not work for Envy.
And you have to understand here why we have these role switches going into this map as well, to see Rossi on this KJ. When Demon 1 plays a Chamber or he plays a Brimstone Astra, Brimstone Astra is going to be with the team or he's going to have to play pulse plans. But when he's playing a Chamber, he's more like a rotational pickoff type of player, while you need lurkers. That's what was one of the key components that Envy's working around the map, forcing rotates and being able to pump back into a different site. It was because of Enspire's lurks. Now you're giving it to Rossi, who's also very good in that role, which is probably why now he's playing this KJ and not giving this Senti role to Demon 1 just because of the map layout here of Pearl.
All right. confirmed entry with the dimensional drift. They can see Bao on the backside. We'll say we'll put this right on point.
Simple.
Easy kill. Yeah, really just going back to basics here on using one ult to favor the other, or complement the other. Still push. They have a reaction for the util. Very nice protocol here from the side of Envy to stop it. But is it going to be too much chaos from EG? As the rest of Envy is just ready down the firing line of Secret to bring that in their favor.
When you open it up on that side and you're playing weak for EG on the A site with Bao's util, if he dies, I mean, you've already lost the information on what could happen here towards Art.
Right.
I have the best question marks in the game.
It was artistic.
But there's just so much space that Envy could take here in the post plan. So they all group up towards the end. They all at least try to congregate into one section that they could retake for EG. But Envy just had great counter util in the post plant because most of it was just used by a double ult to take space control, which is great.
Rolled a few off the chin of Demon 1 there, but he still gets the kill as it goes through the metal. So they get one back, see where they can take the money, see where they can take the gameplay. We've kind of had the death ball strategy from Envy here in these past few rounds so they could keep their forces together.
Definitely took a Hail Mary for that round, right? The double ult to get some space. Thankfully now, Digizine still has his overdrive, so they could cycle a little bit more. And despite them winning the round, a couple of them did die with not too much money left going into this round, so Eggster only has a Spectre to work with. It'll be another very slow start for Envy. Just still continuous different looks and trying to get active information in the first place. Is this drone on this long B side, excuse me, hasn't seen any position from the Opera yet. They maybe are thinking that the Op is playing towards this B site, but it's actually just Okeanos playing at the orb over A. And the Op was actually posted up on Art. Beautiful mind games here. A call from Calm to rotate Digizine back on the Op line because there's no more deep drone to spot down towards that long B. Digizine has an opportunity for a great opener once again.
He's holding down low. He knows if they hit this late, they're probably not going to do too much on the top side. Oh, he was right, but he moved a little too early, and that's an activation for Envy here. Nice Cosmic Divide is going to make EG feel a little uncomfortable on their sight. There's a quick check to the backside, gives them safety. Oh, still Calm's going to find you with the shock darts, as always. The next plant to come back in, it's going to be the Killjoy ultimate, going to be a lockdown, though, so we might have somebody caught if you cannot get Eggster out.
It just got theirs out too. Maybe a couple of seconds left, so that's going to force Envy out, allowing EG to flood back in with the Cosmic Divide. You could at least get it halfway, but they haven't wasted a util from the after yet.
Dashing through. Kesnit now looking for a first kill as Demon 1 gets Bao down. They are arms reach apart here as the fire starts coming through, and EG finds a few kills for themselves. Is it another one trade down long? They're not putting the pressure on. They're not getting the swings that they need here. It's all up to GG now. Operator there, a peek's going to come out, but it's not going to be enough time. All of the smokes, all the delay. Beautifully played by Envy there. It took quite a bit from both teams, but it's what comes out for Envy's side that matters, that victory.
Envy was not afraid to refight through the Cosmic Divide as soon as that lockdown was depleted on EG's attempt. Look at this. Yes, it's a beautiful shark dart in the beginning, but towards the end, for EG flooding back in his double ult on their side, they haven't tapped Spike.
Yeah,
there's just a lot of util coming back from Envy's side that just
comms, guys. Let's go, guys.
Really delayed everything on the side of Envy, which is perfect.
Just kind of felt like false pressure. You know, you are coming back into the site, but you're not making the enemy care too much about it.
Well, an op is saved for Digizine going into this round. A stack heavier on EG's side as they have this lower buy. Soki with the Guardian.
He's been here a few times, trying to take the fights himself. Another one. No, the saturate was so nice, but Eggster and the rest of the team trade back. Hunter's Fury goes through that chaos as well from Calm in the back to get a kill. And there are X's all over A, but it does not mean Rossi stops moving. He's still trying to gain space and figure stuff out while the plant goes down.
The plan was still pretty good for EG. What a shot, though, for Digizine. That's Eggster down. Advantage for the side of EG as now the alarm bot is sounded. They know at least that one is towards Art. They could start tempoing up here, especially now that Digizine has the ult to confirm where the second player is going to be.
Well, they see the turret. That wasn't there before, so they're guessing it's going to be what they need. Wait! Why are you looking left if it was confirmed? No one there! Oh, the last moments are just all in Envy's favor around the dimensional drift, and they snuff that play right out.
And that's a little bit of a slip there. We were talking about EG having to clean up a little bit of that micro and just having to turn left without, flicking towards that right side to really clear both extremities. Because they found that perfect timing to take down Calm out in the open. And then the crossfire to bring immense value from Art after that lurk coming out here from Rossi. And there you go. You see how they were so focused on trying to take down Rossi towards Art that Kesnet found that perfect timing. You'll count your lucky stars there because that closes that gap. There's only 2 rounds remaining to tie up this game for NV side. And yeah, you're going to stop the brakes now. Potter calling it for EG to just redraw the plans on how they want to anchor on these sites. I mean, it was still nicely drafted. You're trying to go for, the dash up to find info combined with the Hunter's Fury, but that second layer, they tried to stay on site. They tried to fight with the Chaos against Envy, which was something that they also wanted to explore going into Loud. But going into that pulse plan, it's finally been cleaned up here by Stunner after after his calls. Because that's what, 3 plants in a row since the timeout, 3 of them won by the side of Envy.
Let's see where they go from this. It does seem to kind of allow Okeanos kind of extremity control and denial of him going down in the same situation, with still Digi being hard on these lines, going for the operator, being the main focus of kind of the defense point they want to hit with if they are moving forward. Here again, that at long C. So we'll see if Oki can get himself going here. Looks like he might be backed up by the drone this time too on Art.
DGZ's going to find, or try to find some value again with the op. I thought he was going to try to move up a lot more where he found some value with the Phantom before, but he'll stay posted up for a bit. As they hear the drone, they re-clear towards Art for EG. Has a little bit of a stalemate, but the ult comes up right away for Extra to find the early information and a quick 5-man pop.
Instantly cut the site as well. Towards the right side, making sure it's safe. They leave 2 in main to insert, but now Exter is fully pressuring here towards the backside, and EG can't even approach their site.
Always seem to be stuck to play the post plant right now when it comes down to these big ult rounds for Envy. What do you have cooked up now for EG as you're a man down already from Okeanos?
Poppin starts it. Safety in sight. Everybody's kind of got a crossfire on each other, and that's the one. Poppin goes for the kill as they get one out. Nicely played by Exter and the team there, just to send EG for a loop. And Demon 1 had an op in the back, by the way, on main. Still opping. Still Demon 1. It's going to be a save for EG as they cruise out to the left side of the map here. And Envy, this was a 5-1 game. It's now going to be a 5-4 game.
Correct. Yeah, again, after that timeout from Envy, and they started having these ult cycles coming out on their side too, they were able to take full advantage of it, even canceling out the big ult round that EG had before on that lockdown and Astra Cosmic Divide on that P site. So that means now for Envy, they're definitely on the driver's seat for this half. And I'd like to see EG maybe try to change things a little bit more now when it comes down to these chaotic rounds. Because, again, they were looking good Chaos versus Chaos against Loud and kind of caught their opponents off guard. Now you're allowing Envy to get full setup on these pulse plants, and now they found how they could course correct right over here to fight towards that pit.
Bro, we have Demon 1. She's the best player in the world. Let's go.
As Demon 1 just sits back and sips a mojito and A main for that round.
But you saw how that changed towards that fight on that pit. Instead of the piss round, of course, where you don't have that util, but now you're baiting some players out, you're TPing out, and you're swinging right after the TP from Exter. And EG gets all of their angles broken trying to fight back into the A-side pit take. Now it's a big round that EG could maybe take into their advantage because they have this Whaley ult. It's actually Okeanos using the mini op with the Guardian, looking down the line aggressively actually for info, which allows now EG to focus a little bit more on the crossfire and to getting information on middle.
Just patience now. Exter's probably not going unless he has some util. They're waiting for each other here to make a move. I kind of like this from Envy. They've shown a lot of pressure in the beginning of the rounds before. Now it's going to be very patient to make people second guess if it's actually going to happen. Flash is coming through. Shots going a little wayward for a moment there, but it is going to be Envy trying to push through Art here. Nice shot by Digi to slow him down. Wait, Okeanos is there too. It's only a few trades from Envy and not enough to stop EG's defense.
I thought Oki was going to run down there as he only had the Guardian inside that smoke.
He makes it work. We were looking to see if he could come online yet this game. They've kind of kept him quiet on this waylay. And now probably don't need to use the convergence path that has come up. Kesnet. The shorty on Digi is he's going to slide around here. This can be incredibly effective as he slides into 1v1s. Boom. Saved by Demon 1. He's trying to hide just outside the path. And they're just waiting. Long swing. Ooh. Here's a pop-in for you. Bao's going to be able to clean that one up. 6-4. It was going for a few rounds, but EG stopped the bleeding there.
You see the practice coming in for EG as they look like they're going to align themselves to Demon 1, and they just hit back and say, wait, guys. We have to think about the fundamentals. 3, 2, 1, a wide swing, and then finally they break the crosshair placement, and they even pull out a live bar, all of them. And that definitely surprised Envy when they tried to double run through that smoke. Nice repositioning coming out from Okeanos. And even Bao is the one that gets the kill. Man, they're getting good values with the bandits and the pistols. Remember Superman at the beginning of that half, all the way towards that back of that B site.
Taste of your own medicine, right? 6-4 here. 2 more rounds to clean up this half. Could go either way with the buys coming through. And EG keeps that up.
Maybe orb control will be the name of the game here. Demon 1 would have a cosmic divide if he picks up that orb. Allow for them to go into easy mode on the execution on that B site. Joan hasn't, well, the turret's going to see them at least.
There it is.
There's that orb. And there's that pick from Digizine again, though.
He's hardly been on that left side, actually, towards the screens. It's been box, it's been back haul, so always switching it up as the sight hit comes in. Cosmic divide for safety, but how safe is the question? Calm already getting one, swings through the wall, is going to be found very quick. They're just not stopping. EG biting down on this cosmic divide right away. Oh, Bao! And Digizine there to clean the round up. Crispy there from EG on the hold.
Yeah, I was questioning here, Envy running down for that plant, especially when they lost a player, but it's Poppin trying to go for that plant. He already had a Hunter's Fury. He was probably going to be the one that could save the round for Envy, but instead they go through their tried and true, their play style. They tap the spike, they force the players to come out, and they're counting on their aim. They try to win these rounds, but Util continues to be too good for EG. They back themselves out into these fights. Calm feeling like it's Christmas.
He's giddy over there. Where are we going? Looks like it's happening fast. They've slowed it down a few times, and now they're going to hit the go button.
Double ult again.
Cruising right through. Digizine's going to try to get in the face of him. He does. The shorty works, and he gate crashes out just to return a little bit later for another fight and play again. Oh, not even able to clear the right side. They're so tunneled on what's happening over towards the util of Evil Geniuses as they continue to clean up Envy. Flawless round so far, and a flawless round to end the first half.
Great cleanup by Potter, sends the timeout as well on their side. And they're making this game and this series interesting. Again, a big elimination game, big changes coming out for Envy. And EG trying to find their championship form. And it's all thanks to this guy. The continuous first bloods from Digizine that gets converted back for EG is the name of that first half.
This first half of Evil Geniuses versus Envy.
Oh my God, Demon 1 cosplay!
Has been in your face, and I don't think it's going to change when we come back from the break. Don't go anywhere.
Can I help you, sir?
Here's the bill from the dealership where I got my car, and I'd like you to beat it with a better deal on one of these fine cars.
Not how it works.
Guess you're not as cool as Verizon.
Bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill for a better deal today.
we are back to see if Envy can put their stamp on the second half here. 8-4 is Evil Geniuses. You called it right before we went to break. Potter's timeout just corrected everything and anything we were really seeing wrong with them. And they even came out with a flawless last round of the half. So really righted the ship there. We'll see if they can continue into the second half.
Yeah, both coaches actually getting tremendous value out of their timeouts and for Envy to start a slow comeback within the game. They were really one round away before tying things up on a 5-5 scoreline until Potter called that timeout and at the end of round number 8. Yeah, they could convert the other one too, but then the last 3 looked pretty good. But here's that question mark that looks to be answered this time around as we're about to witness the second half unfold. Envy, 5 players individually, could definitely win these rounds.
Okeanos is going to start off and already shut down 2. Demon 1 says he can have a play at it, and they're going to try to actually protect this. I thought Supermen and the rest of the team were going in, but it's going to fizzle out for now. A creep going into the site here for EG as they try to keep things a little quiet until the drone, but they still have quite a bit of control over here. They just have to figure out what's going on in Art. Oh, the peek, the double swing there. Bao is able to help clean that trade up. They're still going. They're still going. It doesn't look like they're going to slow down at all. A jump in coming from Rossi. He's going to throw his aim off for a moment. Can it be popping? It's Bao again! A 3K for Bao on this pistol. A 3K for DG earlier. Like, these guys are cruising.
Especially when you see all the 5Xs for the blue side of Envy just dying here towards middle. It just became an easy, you know, advantageous position from AG's side. Look at how we're trying to push out. There's one flash, and then we're all peeking one by one at that point. Yes, we tried to converge on 2 angles, but EG were just ready for it. They had 3 players on their side and just fought back beautifully.
Bro, yo, Kesnet! Kesnet Dookie!
He's gonna have to watch his words though, because I remember Okeanos, I think on Lev against Crew, was very loud against Kesnet, and then it ended up being a victory for Crew in the end. So we'll have to see if it bites back. So far, so good, though. Yeah. Okeanos continues, shuts down Extra, was trying to look for some warp control. So for Envy's end, they're just trying to maximize as much as they can into their eco so that they could get these ults up ASAP. Poppin's already halfway towards his on the Hunter's Fury, but EG is starting to run away with these rounds.
Pushing in the eyes of Digizine right now as they get Dimensional Drift back online ASAP, but still right side of the map, they're working back on the defensive side. So thinking Envy's going to get a little weird here on their lower buy. A little bit of the anti-eco purpose for EG moving in here slowly.
Turning every stone, though.
Yeah.
Double swing to break the turret behind a drone, too. That confirms an open site for them to take. I don't know if Rossi will try to go for a timing. He only has a classic to work with, and now it's just find exits, try to go for Dynaspike. Don't give these orbs up on the side of Okeanos, who's already halfway. So that means for me, you're going to have to switch weapons here. Maybe try to pick up the a pistol from Superman or Bao and start having Okeanos chasing for these kills in spawn.
I like that. Looks like they might trade over here. No, they're actually just getting out. Trading positions, so still at least going for the effective person to push. Calm starts off there, and the rest of Envy, I think, are going to try to deny some orbs here as we just get the spike to go off. A nice job by EG to roll through these ones. I think one of the things that pained them in pro, going forward, there you go. You got the trade finally. One thing that pained them was they played a little too safe on these rounds where they had buys, and they kind of let the enemy team in and under their skin, but not this time.
Good shock darts coming out from Calm. That's like, what, 2 shock darts that he's gotten on this map so far?
Yeah.
So getting value off the credits that he spends for the abilities here for that Sova. He's also getting very close to halfway to his Hunter's Fury.
Jeez. Zoop. Gets it. Of course he's blind when he does it too. He is having a grand old time today. All right, 10-4 here. Digi with the Outlaw. 18-6 for both him and Bao. Just laying down the law today.
Right now, the openers is across the board from EG on how they're getting these values, but on that first half, it was definitely Digizine at the tip of the spear. You know, we talked about 5 first bloods. All 5 of them converted into a round for EG in that first half.
That's incredible.
So think about him right now with this Outlaw. The thing is this bonus round is not going to be as strong against Envy. The Outlaw against 4 full shields across the board here for the players out of 5 of Envy. They could stay alive here in these fights, but they have power numbers on the attack.
making good space. We're feeling comfortable about their take, actually. A little late on the activation to see if Envy was maybe hiding in the works. Oh, Rossi with the angle. Rossi with a sliver. Forces off that so he doesn't play anything too silly and the team can get back with him. Oh, knowledge of Rossi's position gives him some damage. Now you got to watch coming around the flank, though, as well from our Demon One has a good push inside. Exter doesn't fall prey to it that time with the shorty, and Demon One's good for 2 from around the outside. Now it's just Digizine and Superman getting back in from main, and it is going to be a task. That's 1 shot. That's 2.
Oh
Wait,
my
it's
God.
3! No, this can't happen! It can! We just watched it! And I wouldn't believe it if I didn't see it. Evil geniuses grab another round that was well in the hands of Envy.
And that's on Superman. 17 assists, by the way, on Superman.
Oh my gosh.
And somehow finds the timing out of his gravity well to not allow Envy to get even half the fuse at the start. So they find the perfect timing as the smoke dissipates, and it's Outlaw Classics. And the long range catching players off guard 1 by 1. What a conversion out from the Evil Geniuses.
I think that's a big point where we see that it comes down to the team who's kind of in that veteran locked-in status to a team that then at that point relies on firepower in a moment, relies on swinging on each other. As Rossi said before, we're all calling until Poppin kind of confirms a call. It's very ranked. We'll be back and forth, covering each other, hitting our shots. There's no real method to the madness other than we are aimers, we're good, and we'll get in there when the call is ready.
In macro-wise, when you're looking at how that round unfolded, though, it was so unorthodox in terms of that NV playstyle. They gave up so much space at the beginning. The fact that EG was able to crawl down for a split into the A site and still set alarm bots deep into the jump up towards Sewers, towards Ivy. They had so much information in the pulse plant to win for EG side. And then Envy, well, they used their brute force util. They set these aggressive fights on site. And then they forced the EG players to really fall from a couple of mistakes until you have this hero round coming out from the Digizine and Superman. So honestly, like, it wasn't the worst of rounds coming out for Envy and how they wanted to flood retake towards the end. They just got very unlucky of not protecting each other when they're trying to get that defuse. Where that's planted towards that fridge, you could still body block your teammate to at least go for a half defuse, maybe even a full defuse, but they weren't really there to work with each other for Envy after they retook the A site.
Well, they're active. Double swing doors, instant control in mid. Tempting a fight. Bao feels it already. Yeah, and they actually got it right off of the turret too. Oh, the throw over the wall for the escape. Very nicely played. As Bao kind of calls that one.
Oh, a little hand sticking out.
Took his elbow off and then the hand. We traded back beautifully. Will they get another peek is the question. Orb grabbing out. EG doing a great job at maxing in these rounds too to make sure they have an advantage to get the round if they are stopped in their initial strat.
Well, that happened towards the beginning of the round. Looks like they already took down Rossi's turret. So you're forcing out players to really move around that map, and that was something that Star was mentioned before. They haven't been too strong at finding mid-round plays, especially when they're still aggressive to get the early space. So they kind of feel like they're off on an island, playing in the unknown that allows their opponents to really close out these rounds. So having EG on the attack with, well, now the Dark going towards the A side, you kind of have an idea that there's probably a finish from EG over on A. So that will actually get Demon One ready.
Let's see how Demon One plays this smoke here. Gonna go ahead and smoke it out so they feel uncomfortable taking that backside of sight. But they're just jumping through with shorties. Fearless are EG right now with the numbers they're able to put onto the site. Seeing one, but that's going to draw the tunnel attention to the wrong spot. Popping in the back, trading out guns there. And now, in the eyes of Calm here, he's going to get found out, so it's going to be the rest of the team needing to help him.
Com's going to have to dance now in church.
Great crossfire on Art. Cleaned up one. Waiting to peek, another double here from the eye of Superman, and he cannot get it. Rossi gets two with a Bulldog, and the defuse comes through for Envy. Timeout value up again.
And that was a big play, because it just had to get his one while he slides across. That eliminates the crossfire setup.
Yep.
So then the other two are kind of just stuck playing on the staircase and trying to swing on a high-low re-peek out from Envy. Very nice in the end. Good finish here to close things off on Envy.
That's the face of, we just want to close this one out. Not.
No pie, no pie, no pie.
Got it.
Yeah, 4 and 13 for Rossi. vibes are still there at least.
Yeah. You know, especially when you're not buying. They go up. Definite vibe up.
Look at that win round. They win the round here, Guardians and an Ares. Still not out of the frying pan for Envy, and EG are just looking to go very quick towards this B site.
No convergence path to start. No, they decide to dive in. Extra's still there. Calm missing on the Hunter's Fury. They're trying to just rush into sight on this call to still take the space, but Envy's not going to let it happen. A line of scrimmage stands strong, and no member of EG really passes that.
That was huge by Exter. He was a reason why they were able to anchor that up, and how they were able also, despite that 4 versus 2 that they lost a couple of rounds ago, it was all thanks to Exter finding great value out of his clone. They shoot it out. He flashes on top of that, gets some kills while he's storming back with the team. That was something that was mentioned at the desk where they wanted to see this resurgence of Pompin from that week 1 into this week, because they did kind of falter a little bit in the last 2. But look at that flash after the clone. Even his TP that he forced himself away from was not even far away.
Woo.
So he's always there in that fight.
Mini off shot. Feeling good. Oh, Extra has previously talked about kind of getting hit by the fog of war in a game. It's like, man, I know what to do all the time when I'm playing online, but in the server, sometimes it escapes me, and it seems like he's got that cleaned up in these chaotic situations. Little dismiss. Oh. No fight. They hold their tongue. Oh, I eat crow on that. They don't hold their tongue. They go straight for the fight. And now it fizzles out for a moment.
And look at the differences from TPs from Extra as well. He stays within the site while Digizine was always going towards the A site in a very long rotate. So he's always back in the fight too. EG though on an eco, so they're again just trying to maximize as much as they can going into the next round. But this is also a scoreline that could potentially haunt EG. They had this matchup. They had this map against Sentinels in the past. They had a strong lead too. It was an 11-7 half, or a scoreline rather, until Sentinels came back and won it 13-11. And now EG was also on the attack side in that moment, or in that map in the series.
Maybe get an orb here for Superman. I mean, you're going to be going guns. You can't go shy. They do. So at least you get the Cosmic Divide out of this too. 4 ults to come out of next round if none are used here. And Envy still can clean up, setting up their ults too. They can get locked down online if they find one more for Rossi. So Envy in a very good position to keep stringing these together. I think it's important that we see them be able to be down in such a way of 5-1, but still have the knowledge and the wherewithal on how to come back in that situation.
I'm going to say they have to make some noise here. They have to plant, staying alive to time towards the end. The Econ won't be there.
Good God. So whoever got there first, really, 2 flawless.
The thing is, those are important kills for Kesnet. He's 1 away from the overdrive now, and you just mentioned before, Rossi is 1 away from his too. So going into this round here, it would be a huge chaotic round 2 coming up.
Poppin resting. This is Potter saying, slow down the aggression. It is. Potter wants a moment with the team and also just stop this Envy momentum coming through. Seems like they have the idea continuously in playing it at that fundamental level and putting a few tricks in there. Demon 1 doesn't seem to be having any trouble slotting in right now with the way they want to play.
I'm still quite surprised though on this Potter timeout. I feel like it's a little bit too early. They still have 4 rounds of Valorant before Envy ties things up. Yeah, I mean, maybe they want to try some good value out of their ults, but maybe not try to use too much going into the next round.
That could be it.
I mean, they were still looking pretty decent from the pistol to the bonus round that they converted, that they could still trust into comms calls going into this round here, and then maybe pause once you start getting like 11-8 or 11-9 potentially for Envy here, and you see where the ult balance is going to go for either team. But maybe because Okeanos has been holding on to that ult for a couple rounds in the past, when he should have looked like he was trying to use it towards the B side and decided to cancel on that, and he lost that round. So maybe it's just to brush that up a bit. Remember, this is a different role swap for both Digizine and Okeanos. Both of them finding great value on Yoru, but Okeanos struggling a little bit more on the Waylay. This is new for him as well. You know, he is the Swiss Army knife for the team, but maybe the jack of all trades, master of none scenarios here.
And sometimes that KDA follows the volume too. A lot of times we see Okeanos be in that volume that Superman has said has got the team going again. So that would be pivotal right now too, to hear that. Converge's path goes up. Digizine easily able to find Demon 1 out. And this makes EG a little unsure to push more. It's only going to be Okeanos. I was going to say no one's going to follow him, but they're trying to get a kill. Art is the play from Rossi. Well, EG have the site. They also don't want to peek. They're playing it a little scared. It's working out for him for now, but lockdown's going to hit, and this is just going to be absolute chaos from Egster. Either side of the wall played here. Kesnit's just going to wait to see if anybody comes through just outside the lockdown, playing inside his. The plays from Okeanos don't come through onto Rossi just yet here. And Bao, they've asked from him before, can he do it this time? Headshot on one, swings it, almost gets the second one, has the timing, but he did. Oh my God!
Woo! That would have been insane, but it's once again Egster saving it out for Envy. Coming out of the TP, staying alive. And now forcing Bao to really run around like a chicken with his head cut off. And you know what? The chicken almost won.
They stay alive for a while.
Yeah, it was low HP. The wall bang into that box. I mean, look at the HP remaining for Egster towards the end. I think it was halfway in terms of health.
Oh my gosh.
Clean shot on that flick on Kesnit.
114, a headshot and a body, so he still hit him in the face. Holy.
But that stops the bleeding. This is a huge advantage for Envy to bring things back. Because you talk about this timeout, they've used all of them on the side of EG, and they couldn't convert it. Two players that should have escaped when the lockdown came out from Envy's side, and it didn't happen.
He didn't see him. He didn't see him. Oh, he didn't see him either. There's no being seen right now. Ships in the night. All right, we digress there. It might push a little bit more, but the play is towards A here for Evil Geniuses, where Envy is going to be rotating.
It'll take a long time for them to get their old cycles back too, so I think at this point.
On second thought.
I mean, look at the space you've already gotten all of Envy.
Exactly.
They have the alarm bot. The big gap that they have is a street where they have zero utility, and that's where EG is running into, actually. This is a great opportunity for them to move into a B-side plant.
Up and over, in clean. And the rotation now coming back in from popping here. EG trying their hand to stop the bleeding, stop this hemorrhaging that's happening right now, and they lose Calm right off the bat, so they're going to have to search the site themselves. The angles are covered by Demon 1, and he is just that.
And after these rounds of Valorant coming through on the defensive side, we talked about it. Individual plays from a lot of these players across the board, they can make this a very tough game against EG. You don't necessarily always need that synergy when you have 5 amazing players across the board that could find these timings.
I don't know how he does it, but he does the thing again.
Up I go.
We're also fans of the thing, whenever it happens, every time. 11-9, it's Envy is not stopping, and it doesn't look like the aggression's going to stop for A main here. No, we're not even really an orb fight. They just want the space and give EG a hard time.
It's a big W for Envy, definitely. Talked about old cycles that EG are desperately trying to get it back on their side. They trade a lot of utility on both ends, though, and EG are just looking to quickly rotate back towards this B side. The turret that was watching mid the whole time that never got broken, it allows for them to now know that there's a weak side towards B.
Drone in, full team. Push into site or aggress at this point, because they're kind of waiting out to see if backhall's clean. They still haven't cleared backhaul. 1 minute on the clock, and the rest of Envy is now about to stare down the barrel here of the site. They're in position to go in. Cosmic Divide comes through. Here's the slide in. Kesnit, oh my gosh, just shocking plays right here. Drives that one. Pow, right in the kisser of Calm. Egster. Superman trying to play the smoke, trying to play a little sketchy. And they already know. They already know, and it's not enough. Envy are just cleaning up these rounds one after the other.
Oh, that's a fire finisher
That's
right there.
crazy.
Egster has been popping off for sure
Watch me. Wow.
on that second half. But right over here, this is where we're seeing those a little bit of those mistakes coming out of EG. Playing to win, not playing off each other, and they're 1v1v1 just through the Cosmic Divide. Nobody there to help out. And Calm unfortunately gets caught with util in hand. Knowing that, you know, you're low HP onto Kismet, you're trying to get a shock dart kill instead of getting gun out. And now Envy are 1 round away of tying things up, and they have the chances on their side. This is a broken economy for EG. Okeanos with a rifle that they want to cycle over as a team. That's why they're staying grouped up now for some art control.
Honestly, in a gun run, what can be an answer for EG at this point?
Yeah, I mean, getting onto sites and the post plans for the retakes, I think it's a similar storyline for both of these teams where they're looking very strong on these retakes.
Just if they can get there.
This is good, though. Breaking the alarm bot on middle from Digizine.
Yeah.
Now they start creating these question marks. They're weakening up the site. Look at the rotate that comes out instantly from Poppin with this Odin. But the Yop is where it's the crutch. You've already noticed it from one side.
Little fakey fake. Running. Oh, no!
That's spike too.
The fake is called, no bluff to be had. The spike is down. And you can kind of see they're not moving too much either. Because Envy is still worried that EG has a play in mind. Not that that was the play. Can't Omen TP on it. But yeah, no full rotation just to converge on spike. Still playing it smart. I love that from Envy.
Yeah, just run down the clock down, play your numbers, keep the economy up. This is very, very smart for Envy. Change of pace as well. And as you're trying to find, like we were talking about how it gets difficult for them to find info in the mid round, just let them come to you. Let Demon One mow them down.
He just got a fadeaway headshot walking backwards.
150 HP for all of Envy across the board.
No way. Even on that little fight too? Good Lord.
Yeah. Contact play denied for that rifle round, or at least a hero rifle for Okeanos. We just talked about the dreadful scoreline for EG that comes back creeping at him. And this is what I'm talking about here. You don't have the timeout from Potter anymore to try to calm them down and be like, oh crap, is it going to happen again? Yeah. We're going to lose this lead that we built up against our opponents.
11-11. Kesnet not stopping. Kesnikober just continuously in these rounds. Into the face of the opponent. Extra's going to double up on that one. It looks like they might even take control of the game this round with a 12th. EG is stumped already on this round, looking for a way to get in a sight. They still have Okeanos to dash in and do some trickery, but there's hardly any follow. It's going to take a big play to make this happen.
You need some heroics. It's up to Bao here with the space that he's just gotten.
That's one. Oki in, Oki down. The rest of them are there, and Supermen. The cape flowing in the wind, but I don't know if it's going to be strong enough this one. And he is just going to be timed out here for Envy to find him. This is wild from Envy right now. You said they were going to be a lot stronger with the way they could play, how they could lock things down, just being shooters on that defensive side. And man, are they shooters.
Yeah. Calm has to dig deep right now for this last round. There's no economy available for EG. There's no timeout that Potter could call out. And this time around they're getting owned here by this op when they're trying to creep up. This aggression coming out from Kesnet too. It's really catching the timings of what you're trying to do for EG side. When you're trying to say, okay, let's just recall smoke, drone on the top of Long B, try to find the op, and you have Kesnet just running it down and taking you by surprise. Basically what the Digizine was also doing on the defense, Envy answers in spades. Because that's all across the board that they're finding value on the defense, and that's the individual prowess of this team, of this roster.
Demon One Operator R, Extra Outlaw, like, they're having some fun. Enjoying them. Or at least comfort fun, you know what I mean? They're not trying to troll right now.
And that's the other thing we're talking about, right? You have 3 players that can op right now for this team, Kesnet, Extra, and Demon One. That's another pain point that EG will have to face going into the series.
He's already broke 20 kills. We're seeing that he can just play anywhere on any team. Doesn't matter the environment, he makes it happen. And already he'll get the first blood on what could be the final round for Envy here to take Pearl. Cosmic Divide comes in. They sort this out with a bit of a Hunter's Fury up the gut, and that's what they needed. That'll definitely raise a bit of the mental going in. Okeanos breaking space, but they still can't break this line. The site feels weird.
They have
now they're going to get concussed.
Chaos is coming.
Dimensional Drift reveals all. The jig is up here, and the rest of Envy start to make their way into the church portion of site. A 1-for-1 trade. Art still alive and well. You got Calm hanging out on the outside as Rossi pushes here. Got to get a tap on the spike.
Looks like playing for his life. Just wants to make sure here that they guarantee the round for EG.
Is it OT? It's creeping ever so close here, and it looks like EG is going to tip us out of regulation.
Well, with that ult?
A few shots. Calm comes in. Yeah. That's going to make it pretty easy once the lockdown comes through, but it's all the Calm shot to bring us to OT. That final kill, 12-12, and honestly, that should not have happened in case of EG. This was their game to lose, and Envy took that seriously.
It came down to that one of those rounds again where almost for Envy, where you showed aggression, you caught some players off guard so many times, and for the last round, you're playing as safe as possible. You're trying to force your opponents to make a mistake, but Calm's opener with that Hunter's Fury and then the Cosmic Divide available for the attack was everything for them to continue to delay and win off time. Guaranteed, especially Bao after that kill has a lockdown. But wouldn't want any other way. A rematch between EG and Envy, a match that goes into overtime to start the series in this elimination game.
Oh, Okeanos ate that. No, he just got outside. Beautiful shot onto Kesnet. Relay bolt misses, and now we're seeing Okeanos fire up a little bit at the beginning of the round. Hiding, drawing that kind of towards Secret. So yeah, you're going to get seen by the drone, but the rest of the team is unknown.
Digizine's already teethed across too, and he's playing with the Phantom, so they are looking to just play off each other and fight.
Little taps.
Bangs are good.
Great sprays back and forth, knowing the locations, knowing the angles they need to trade at a swing off the dart. Digizine calls the timing. Catches popping half util out. Calm on that spray. Calm with the Odin. We know it's coming up with some results. And now the 2v4 pitted versus Demon 1 and Rossi.
EG's scared. They're just waiting for the smoke to disappear.
That's a full nebula, so they got time to work here. A little bit of an anchor for themselves to play on the outside. Got that bubble to work around. Oh, he sucks him just to the left. Beautiful job by Demon 1 to get the gravity well, but it's going to be too many high lows. That's just the way it goes. Evil Geniuses pick up the first OT.
You can see EG, though, despite the player advantage, they were still looking kind of scared. They were afraid of a late lurk from Rossi. So you count down that timer, and you're like, okay, there's no late lurk coming out from the side of Envy. Let's start scaling back in. But Demon 1 almost went for another hero play. The grab well to isolate one kill, and then using his own smoke as an extra obstacle to hopefully get a second one, but it wasn't enough, and EG are finally back in the lead.
Digizine up and excited. 2 players with 24 over there on EG. We're gonna get a timeout here. This is a heck of a game. Just seeing the scoreboard comparable against each other, who's fragging, who's up there, it's everybody. And it is taking the full team on both Evil Geniuses and Envy's side to make this OT work.
I think this timeout, I think it's called by EG actually. So Potter calls it to try to close this out, not on Envy, trying to bring this into a double overtime. So looks like for Stunna and crew, for Envy, they're still comfortable with their game plan, knowing how strong they were on the defensive side. For EG, I think the call here, you got to slow things down. I think going into the quick, finding early information where the op could be and try to react off that has caught them with their pants down often with how aggressive Kesnet has been. I think at this point, you need to show a little bit of an Envy look, maybe stay back towards that spawn, see if anybody's going to push aggressively. Then you could really go into the late drone, mid-rounding calls that you could do here for EG's side to have more bodies onto the site when you're finally planning, because they have lost so many numbers in the very beginning of these rounds before they could attempt to cross into either of these sites.
Setting up. 5 seconds before that wall drops, and it already looks like A action with double stars ready to concuss or follow up with this play. Kesnet, dash out. They're just going loud to actually push EG off feeling comfortable. Not even trying to stay silent here. Yeah. One smoke forward. First one dismissed. Second one goes in, and oh my God, cleans it up. Can they keep going? Just... It looks like everybody wasn't even ready for that fight. What an awkward round to start this one off. And they push back right into spawn to check and see if anybody went through art, and they missed the timing.
That kill could have been huge, though, towards that streak, because with that frag, it comes down to a 2v2. That they could retake the spike here for EG and bringing the hopefully favors back on their side. But Envy, after that timeout, I love the aggression coming out of them. EG did stay towards that spawn. But
That's
they
true.
didn't get caught. They did get caught still by a recon flash. I got so much value for Envy's defense. But Bao, a kill in the plant, gets him a lockdown. He has full kit to work with as well in the Pulse plant. Rossi's already moving back towards this B site because he was so far from his util in the very beginning.
Window? Easy from Poppin. They get the play. Yeah, EG seemed just stunned at the end there. You know, looking at deer and headlight situation as Envy just snapped. And that's, I think, one of the ways they're the best. We've always known them, a team on defense still feels like they're on offense at times.
Now this is a great timeout. I mean, it should be a timeout. I saw two guys just lean back before we went into the replay. Ah, look at that. Just a little bit too late on that slow. The saturate from Okeanos, and they got immediate value out of it in the beginning. But now this last time out of overtime for Envy's side too, just to try to close it out again. I think this is a perfect call for him, for Envy's side. We know how strong they were on defense. They were struggling here on their attack too. And when he got this timeout at the first half, they got so much value out of their post plants. I think it was like 3 in a row in that first half. So again, stay as a group, stay as a team. EG for me. I think they're just gonna have to fight fire with fire, not give a chance here for Envy to set up in this post plant.
What's the best way? Oki first, Digi first. What do you find? Digi on that C line or that B line? He's actually done really good at pushing up, trying to get into the B lobby. Okeanos kind of messing around with A main.
By the way, Demon One's been a silent killer as well. We've been talking about like the explosive plays from Exter and Kesnet. Demon One has some highlight reels, but towards the end, it's still 24 kills across the board, on top of the board for Envy.
Yeah. And he's been switching around. He's got his guard, his Faithful Guardian, to the Phantom plays, to the Operator rounds. We even saw him with the Op 1 round to drop it for a Phantom next to stay in line with the team. It's working out.
And as you talk about Ops, it's actually not being picked up by Didazine in this overtime, so no glass cannon. They're trying to play the bait and switch for both duelists. They've been hip to hip in the past on this map when Oki was playing on this Yoru. And they're still keeping that same type of play style over on this side, and that was almost a nice surprise onto Exter, but now we cancel things out, and Envy now has the next step that they have to take now into the mid-round.
Oki's gonna have to cover towards Street after that play, but the play is going towards Art for Envy. Running into the bot here, a bunch of util in sight.
Two guys shoot it.
Gonna let this play out. Yeah, they've alerted to more than one person. Dark goes up. Can't get a spray on the Odin. Com's just trying to get the right angle. Oh, he wipes out Kesnet's knees. And the team's still gonna try to plant here. A little bit of a fake plant to get that Odin spray out and identify where the exact location is. Digizine sees a lot more people than he wants to and plays his life very safe to keep the pressure on. Here comes the drone in. They're gonna start using this util as Demon One fires back. The dust settles, a bit of silence in the fight right now, as nobody's really sure where to look. This one-way smoke's gonna be a little awkward, and Bao finds the positive. Okeano finds a +2, and now it's gonna be the converge onto the site. EG just methodically tear apart that post-plant defense from Envy.
Okay, they gave a chance for Envy to set up, but they did have a plan on that retake. And it started off with Com into the pit. It was already read, though, I'd like to say, by Envy, because the macro, how they scaled out towards the Art. The last time you had somebody play inside that pit, they had 3 guys just spraying through the staircase to take him down. And they almost got Com down to 7 HP, but he's so slippery. He's able to get tremendous value.
Com's like, eh. All right. Bao close to dropping 30 on the Killjoy. We start off another round here. Can Envy bring it back for another OT?
You see how it's quiet across the board. That's what we were talking about before too. But instead of staying back towards spawn, they're just trying to keep gun out for EG to see if anybody's going to peek in the very first place, because they have been a little bit individualistic for Envy when it comes down to the first bloods that they're attempting. Look at their positions. Demon One's already up there solo. So that Poppin could watch towards Art.
Oh, right into his star too. You see how aggressive he loves to play there. Ready for the 1-for-1 trade, even maybe another. And he'll back in the situation as they start to drone. Oh, Superman! Just dodging out, shot over the shoulder, Eggster there.
This sells the fake.
And look, yeah, they're gonna insert too and try to sell even more. Oh, that's a good check by Poppin. Even better by the side of Evil Geniuses to correct the situation. Now they can work a bit of the map since they've been seen everywhere, yes.
30 seconds left.
But the alarm bot just came back up. It'll get chaos on both sides of the map now.
Insta-concusses, very quick util, but what do they actually want to work in this situation? Rossi gets a glimpse.
There's 18 seconds, they have to hurry.
Rossi gets enough info to glean that they should stay towards that B site. Another shot from him would be huge.
Rossi!
He gets himself to safety. Now Rossi on 3, and he could deny the round. He's gonna bring him to OT.
Down B.
The ace sits just on his left. He hears it coming through. Oh my God, he hits the ace. Basically solo in the site.
Oh, we've overcooked for EG. After a beautiful kill by Superman in the beginning, I respect the calls coming out from Kong, though, because he dashed into the site. Okeano still spotted players over on EA. They were heavy on that side. You lean in towards A. Superman was already inserted towards B. But it comes down to when you're trying to play your micro and play off each other, you can't play scared. And I was afraid of that going in from Loud into this game. The alarm bot sees him, and they decide to pull through instead of brute forcing their way across to get the space. And they allowed EG, or Envy, to set up. And for Rossi to have a highlight reel of an ace to push this into another overtime.
It's an elimination game, but neither team even wants to lose the first map. At this point, Digizine puts another marker in the first blood column for this map of Pearl. And now it's going to be Envy moving forward, not having that Eggster entry, all on Kesnet. It hasn't been a problem before.
Bao talked about a Demon 1 cosplay before. Can he do the Rossi cosplay on this B site if Envy are attempting to re-hit B?
He's top fragging. Confidence is there. Crosshair is ready for sure. Calm trying to set up a bit of util. They get Dart for the fast lane, and they will insert with that on Envy's side, just for a second.
That Smokes is just gonna force Kesnick to look for a different spot to take here.
Yeah.
But it comes down to Oki.
Is he ready? Called upon in this position multiple times here to see if he can start off the team with a big kill.
And if he falls, he doesn't. This is perfect to start, and he slows things down, and there's 30
Boom.
seconds left. I was gonna say they're so separated that if he falls, that's a weak A site.
Raises his life expectancy, heading out a little bit to get another kill there. Knows he gets shot from one side, and they're looking. He gives that to Superman, and they're just playing peekaboo with Envy in sight. Another defensive round for Evil Geniuses.
Envy once again on this map, forcing themselves to just dig as deep as they can. Remember, there was such a big OT game against Cloud9 when they played this map, where Demo 1 Farm dropping close to nearly 40 kills, but he was actually representing C9 at that point.
Yeah.
And I was looking at his game, I was like, well, if Pearl is going to be left in the pool for Envy, you have to put Demon 1 on that chamber. He's still putting up numbers on his Astra, though, so. But overall, EG is looking really good into these overtimes. Back and forth we go, but they're still back at map point.
What was it? C9 Energy that traded defensive sides too until they started trading attack sides in overtime. It just seems like teams cannot get a grip on what the whole fundamental of the game was going for. They love that defensive side for both right now. We'll see if Envy can get theirs strong. So we go to 15-15.
Okay. We're tapping and just leaving. So they don't want to let anybody know on Envy's side who picked up the orb, who could be the one lurking, if there's still going to be a lurk after. This means for me, it's, I was going to say maybe some sort of find the op again and just explode as a team.
Cutting through.
Going to crash out. Did you peek? Okay, I got a question mark on his mini-map there for a quick head.
Anything.
Oh, Eggster's out. Easy. Great shock dart to come through. Not too much chip damage, actually. Still holding. Smoke clearing is actually real scary, knowing there's operators in the game right now. This swing's gonna have to be fast. Smoke goes down once again, and it's still delayed. 25 seconds left of the round. This one goes to a pressure cooker. Not sure who it favors just yet, but it's going to be a quick scope. No hit, no one down yet. Still 5 alive as the site is pressured, and Envy's just on the outside ring here, looking to get back in. Bow starts with number 1. Kesman starts to answer, but that's going to be 3 quick for Evil Geniuses. And this could be it. First map going to them. 2 more kills. Rossi and Eggster stand tall here on the defensive side. An operator to come through. It's not enough. Digizine cleans them up, and Evil Geniuses will push it through for a victory on Pearl.
And you will definitely breathe a sigh of relief for EG. This was an 11-5 scoreline, I think, going into the first map. They let Envy creep back up for them to get warmed up going into the second map. But finally, at least they're able to close it out in overtime from heroic plays again coming out from what we've seen from Digizine, from Bao. And already the conversations coming out to making sure that they know what mistakes they could fix going right into that second map.
How often do we see that quick huddle, right? Usually it's like, all right, we'll talk in the back, but you're right. Just quick little touch